there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Day to Day, the podcast where we explore the joys and challenges of everyday life. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. Whether it's personal growth, navigating relationships, or just tackling the chaos of the day, we're here to talk about it all and hopefully help you along the way.
So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever keeps you going.
And let's dive into today's episode.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We've got a pretty juicy topic on the table. Questions to ask before tying the knot. From love-struck couples to those just dreaming of saying I do, these insights might just shine a light on what really matters.
Ooh, juicy indeed. You know, when we think about marriage, the first image in our heads is often the fairy tale wedding. But what about all the planning that has nothing to do with flowers or cakes?
Exactly. It's like building a house, right? The foundation needs to come first, and that's built on understanding each other deeply. We're talking hopes, fears, deal breakers, and financial realities, the whole shebang.
And to guide us through this insightful maze, we'll bring in some key ideas from a recent discussion among a few seasoned therapists. They've got years of experience dealing with such issues.
Let's start with big picture question. Why do people even decide to get married in the first place? Is it love, security, companionship, or maybe just a sense of obligation? And how do those reasons shape a marriage?
Such a good question. One therapist, Lee Min, mentioned that before even diving into marriage, it's crucial to reflect on why you're choosing that path. People sometimes rush in with starry-eyed expectations without really grasping what marriage means to them.
Right? And this is a personal journey too, isn't it? Understanding your own motivations and expectations lead to healthier discussions with your partner about shared goals and visions for the future.
Exactly. It's like preparing for a team sport. If one player is clueless about the game plan, we all know how that turns out.
Oh, and speaking of sports, isn't it funny how couples sometimes gloss over those less romantic but very vital questions, like household chores or how you're going to handle finances?
Totally. It's often said that money talks, but what does it really say in a marriage? Before tying the knot, you might want to spill the beans about debt, spending habits, and savings goals.
Super important. Without those awkward but necessary talks about finances, you're basically setting up a minefield for misunderstandings.
True, and mingling family matters can be tricky too. You know, figuring out relationships with in-laws and how much they'll be involved can all boil up into a good old family drama if not addressed.
Drama indeed. Lee Min emphasizes the significance of discussing family dynamics. If you marry someone, you kind of marry their family too, right? It's best to understand those dynamics up front.
That's an excellent point. And what about those everyday brush-offs that can lead to big-time trouble? Like who's doing what chores and who's taking the time to book those weekend getaways to keep the spark alive?
Gosh, managing the day-to-day is essential. So many people say maintaining a marriage is way less glamour and more who did the laundry last.
Totally. And that leads to a vital yet often overlooked part of marriage, conflict resolution. Knowing how to handle disagreements before they happen can make all the difference.
Exactly. Liang Mingxia, another therapist, chimed in on this. She highlights understanding each other's conflict styles and having solutions ready to stop small arguments from burning the whole house down.
And isn't it funny how we often overlook talking about something as vital as intimacy and personal space?
Haha, yes. Discussions about intimacy are pivotal but can be neglected. If both parties aren't on the same page there, it might cause strain. A lot to consider before exchanging rings.
It seems the theme throughout is really about proactive communication. It's a big ask, but worth it when you're thinking of committing to someone for life, don't you think?
Absolutely. When you strip away the fancy ceremonies and Instagram-worthy photo ops, what counts is having those candid talks that lay a solid foundation for a lifelong partnership.
And to all the couples or single folks planning to ring those wedding bells, hopefully today's chat gave you some food for thought. You know, maybe jot down some of these questions.
Yes, and remember, every relationship is different. These conversations are not to box you in, but to help avoid surprises that can be, well, less than fairy tale-like.
Right on. And as we wrap up, let's not forget to remind our listeners to keep the dialogue open, making it easy to face potential hiccups down the road together.
Perfectly said. So what do you think, folks? Are there any other pre-marriage questions or discussion points that seem crucial to you? Let us know.
Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in today, and stay tuned for more endearing and deep diving chats.